Hey guys, welcome to the first session of TradeMax software training. Using a soft environment, let's get acquainted with the software, have an overview and become familiar with all these tools. I'll tell you this part of the menu. I'll tell you which ones are the most popular. It's useful for us, like rendering, the customize section, and file editing. This part is the workspace. This area is called the command panel. We spend most of our time here, in this familiar environment. We spend almost all of TradeMax's work. 90% of it is done right here, and we can draw objects here. We can set up lights, place cameras, and use helpers. We work together. We call these 4 windows. Viewport, you'll hear that. During the tutorial, I'll draw a wall. This part is called the perspective. I'm just going to draw a wall. This part shows us from the front angle. It shows us from the angle. The top view shows this part well. It shows us from the left angle. This part, we'll have a session about it. We'll talk about it in detail and refer to it as the navigation control. We can zoom in on this part, for example, in our viewport, or we can zoom in on our camera frame. We can open and close it, and we can orbit around our objects in the scene. This part is what we call the animation control. We can animate an object. For example, let me try something. I'm activating the auto key and saying, bring me up to 100 frames. Bring the frame here, go up a bit, and I'll hit play. Just watch. This section of the interface is known as the timeline, where you can view the sequence of events or clips arranged in chronological order. This part is simply called the ribbon. We can deactivate it from here. We can activate it again. We're getting quite familiar with this place. Well, just imagine that I am in the environment now. Unmax. Tweaking a few things. I also poured. For example, I close this. Let me just simply actually delete this. Think I know the name of this now. What was that I deleted? Command panel. If I know its name, I will come. Right-click on the top part command. Panel comes here, I'm looking for it. First the command panel comes here, I can drag it here, left-click the mouse, and release it here. Or I can simply right-click up here and just choose to dock left or right, quite easily. It will come and go. What if I didn't know its name? Now, for example, I deleted this part on the left. I don't know its name. What should I be looking for? Command part customizable here. We have activated the command. From this section, the command can be customized by the same user. This is our interface. The command panel is right here. Well, now that I don't know its name, what should I do? I come to this workspace and click here, and the last option is to reset to default state. When I click this, all our viewports. It goes back to its default state. You probably don't have these right now. I'm disabling these. These are the plugins Vary, Corona, and Vantage. It is for rendering your material right now. You don't need it. Well, with this customization part, Unity. We'll get completely familiar with the setup in the next session. In this section, for example, we can save our files. Can we save it? Can we reset it? From the Edit menu, we can use Ctrl+C. We'll use it, and we'll work on the viewport together. We'll work together on animation rendering. Together with the Customize Preferences section, we can personalize the Max Moon environment. Let's do some adjustments. We'll discuss this briefly in the meeting. We'll work on it. The things you'll actually need for your projects, I'll let you know about them. Definitely, and as I mentioned, we'll work through the unit setup together completely. This part is fully functional. From here we can select our object. We can easily rotate, move, and rotate. We can change the scale and We will get acquainted with the snaps, snap settings. We work all of this together with Mirror. Now we all work together as a team. I'll tell you about this workspace part 2. You can fully customize and save your workspace, such as you think this is what it looks like every time you open Tray Max. Your command panel is on the right side of this page. Now I'm closing this for now because imagine you always want to, for example, your viewport should look like this. No need to do anything else. Set these all together. I'm doing some settings now. I just want to simply place my command panel on the left. I set up the viewport in a dual view. I want to save it, so I'll go to the section. The workspace becomes our desktop. Actually, I'm coming to the Manage Workspace section. And I just save it with our own name, for example. I'm simply going to leave Shaho. Okay? He's here. If to view the default 3ds Max setup. This is how it is. Now I want what I have. I set it up to go to the Shaho option. It'll definitely come out like this again. In the next session, we will talk about UI customization and we'll talk about the unit setup settings and configurations in detail.